Our last episode, we were talking about the system in waste management. Are they the right ones? Are they giving us what we need to to contribute to climate action and waste management in Nairobi? So uh, what we all of us all had is that the systems are there, but they are leaning more towards lean economy, which is not what we are advocating for. What we are advocating for is actually circular what? Economy. But we also talked about who is responsible who is most affected. And we saw that all of us are affected. Now, the next thing we are going to do, if you look in this room, all of us are youths. We are going to talk about our space as youths. Youths are the innovators. Youths as the solution makers. We are the solutions of ourselves in this lifetime and the solutions to our future. We are talking about sustainability. What is our space as youths in this circular economy? So maybe what we can talk about the space is about the models that we can use in innovation, in transitioning, because innovation is part of solutions. So maybe I ask my sister, Mercy, a merciful person indeed. What are the youth-led models which are available for us to bank on as youths in circular economy?
Thank you for that pointer. So, young people are most of the waste pickers that we have currently. If I can narrow it down to Nairobi, we make up around 70% of the waste pickers. So, what I mean is the boys you see moving around carrying like a sack, and then they are moving around collecting plastic. That's an opportunity for them to create income for themselves. There are organizations that buy back that plastic from them, like Mr. Green is doing that, Takataka Solution is doing that, and other than Takataka Solutions looking at it and placing waste sorting centers in the communities, they are getting carbon and plastic credits from it at a larger scale. And then so the waste pickers are just down at the value chain. Of course, they're getting very small from compared to what Takataka is making in general.
Yeah.
But I believe it's a starting point. So what we can advocate as youth is that the government puts a cap. Like there's a certain ceiling that you can't lower. They can't go lower per kg on plastic to a certain point. There's also the aspect of upscaling and making that plastic of more value. We have a lady who is making bricks, cabro bricks from plastic.
Wow.
And she's making a lot of money from it, and if maybe government would see it as an opportunity to promote that industry. Say government will stop buying usual cabro and they will be buying cabro that has been made from plastic. Yeah. That would be an added for the youth. It would encourage more industrialization. I wonder why they don't see opportunities that they can do to create jobs for young people, because that would be phenomenal. Yeah. How many places do you know need cabro? We put cabro in our houses. We've put cabro. Imagine if the president decided that all the housing projects had cabro that was made from plastic. Imagine how many young people would have benefited from that innovation. I'll also look at organic waste as an innovation part. There's a group in Kuru that is doing black soldier fly farming, and they're getting the organic waste from households and hotels, and making it what value, giving it to the larvae and coming up with fertilizer, the feeds for pigs and chicken. And the Kenya Fisheries Research Institute is looking into making BSF a feed for fish. If that expands, and then young people are told produce, because I went to them and I asked them, why are you not putting, because they produce fish feeds for the country from the smallest fish to the largest. Why are you not using BSF? They told me they can't find a single producer who can give them in tons and concurrently. So you see there's a gap and there's an opportunity and there's waste.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so there's actually, just like Washington has said, there's value. My sister is saying there's value. All of us are acknowledging that there's value, but who is empowering us to take up these opportunities? Because money is there to be taken, but governments need to focus on the right things that can benefit young people other than the ones that they are focusing on right now.
Oh, that's a very good take.
I will also
But,
like to echo what my sister said.
Echo it.
Yes, let me attest, for the past 2 years that I've been working in this space of circular economy, I can attest that there's many youths, or a lot of youths are really doing amazing work when it comes to this. She has said much of them, and this week I was part of also this circular economy conference that was like hosted by Sustainable Inclusive Business by Kenya Private Sector Alliance. As those exhibitions and conference where there are delegates, people trying to network and exchange ideas, but I can really attest that there's people like many youths working on tech, doing tech, like developing like websites, developing like apps that one can track and build about traceability on waste. There's also others like are making use of fashion, like waste textile fashion, to do like amazing work on beauty and stuff. And there is also like other youth-led enterprises that are making like key ornamental things from molding waste. Others are using this waste.
They want to replace gold.
Exactly. Others are actually
beautiful.
making use of this like waste wood. How can I put? Is it wood like the waste woods and leaves to build like some packaging? You see?
Yeah.
So this is a real key at testing that we are doing the work, but this is just a smaller group. But there's others, like millions of youths in Kenya who are actually doing this work, but they're not even noticed.
And
It is about
They're not
noticing.
even
and
acknowledged.
sometimes don't even understand that what they're doing
Yes.
is waste management.
Yeah.
Waste management.
They
They're doing
are
amazing
just
innovation.
innovating.
Yes.
They're making businesses for themselves.
Yeah.
They're making I love ornaments, and I really love repurposed and crafted ornaments, by the way. And stay tuned to buy from me very soon. Anyway,
You are innovating.
I actually make, but I make for myself most of the time. It's not like a business that I'm doing, but I make a lot of my ornaments. I repurpose a lot of like vintage jewelry. And
next time you bring
I crochet.
the materials, the
So-
products.
I can even add this. A friend of mine, actually, who is doing like 3D printing from plastics,
Yeah.
like designing this, like the filaments from plastics and making like doing the 3D printing, designing like amazing works.
You can literally make anything with a 3D
Yes.
printer.
Art.
You can
Yes.
literally make anything with a 3D printer.
Yes.
You can print a chair, you can print a model, you can print a bottle, you can print a plate, you can print a cup, like literally. you
And
can
making
do
use of these
anything.
plastics.
It's like I'm living in another world. I didn't know about that.
Yes. So
But there's one project that I really like that a friend of mine is doing, and they're recycling paper back to wood, and I was like, oh, that sounds impossible. Like recycling paper back to wood and using it to make pencils. And now what they do is have like seeds at the tip of the pencil, because
Yes.
we know that most of the time when you finish using your pencil,
Bring
kibaki kidogo, you throw them away. And I was like, that is one of the most amazing ideas I have ever
seen.
had.
but also if we continue with this, you'll come to realize that still the youths are lacking in financing. There is the financing gap in like integrating the work that youths are doing and making them and transitioning it from informal to formal. So access to financing is really an important important concept. Not only financing, but designing different or making or setting up many incubating hubs. Yes, we really need to have incubating hubs that it can like host innovators, inventors, and researchers, so that they can do they can have like full potential to do their work.
We actually have Kirdi.
Yeah.
Kirdi has the capacity to do that for us, but they usually don't get enough funding to support us because they have all the machinery, they have research. So honestly, everything we have is just that allocations by government when it comes to budget and the things and the priorities that they are making for these countries are not based on economic development. That is our problem. So if the country focused on economic development, they would focus as well on innovations. And who better places innovations except for young people?
Well, I believe that the government should fund some of this stuff.
They
we
should.
have alternative funding mechanisms. I agree that funding is a very big issue because most of the time you tell someone that you have an organization, the first question is usually like, are you getting funded? And before we start even requesting for funding, we should talk about the requirements for you to even get funding. I think that I could get funding. It's just that it is so much work. It is so much work that sometimes you don't even understand organizational policy. Nilisikia mkisema eti tangu muauditiwe. Wengine hata tujui audits zinafanyangwa aje, and you're expected to have this before you can access any funding. As a young person, no one is teaching you a lot. And even like a while back, we had a town hall with NTV, Earthwise, and this incubator, it is KICA or something.
Kenya Climate Change Innovation Center.
Yes, KCIA.
Yeah.
We had this town hall with KCIA, and they were telling us they take less than 35% of total applications that they have into their incubation programs. And an investor telling us that they invest in less than 5% of applications because due diligence takes a lot of time. And that is the same thing that I could say, I was told by one of the funders as well. Due diligence. We have money, but we cannot fund because we do not have due diligence. It can take up to 1 year to just assess one organization or one project. And us who are being assessed, we don't even have knowledge on the things that are being assessed. We're just presenting our projects as they are. We do not know like what is a key selling point, what is something that whatever, what is your key customer, whatever indicators, whatever, all these things, we do not understand them. We are not having that space where we can learn. We're not having that space where, like, an investor ever said something that I thought was really nice. Someone should be willing to take that first loss. Someone should be willing to take that first loss. Because investing, seeding this money, the chances of it not having a return, the first investment not having a return is very high. And if due diligence is going to mean that we're not getting funded because the first investment is not going to get a return, when are we going to get funded?
Yeah. So, yeah, you want to say something. I know what you want to say, but in terms of funding, getting resources, we have all agreed that youth are ready to innovate, to be part of the solution.
And
we are ready.
And we are not like saying that they are ready. Most of the youths are currently innovating, doing the innovations in climate action and specifically in waste management. Now, you have brought out the aspect of funding and getting the required resources. And for me, what I can see a gap, I can see a certain gap there, like which is brought about by not knowing how to lobby and doing partnerships, because we don't, all of us, we cannot depend on the government. We can make our government our partner. We can make other people our partners. My sister here said that we have so many ways of getting the resources. Now, I tend to ask myself, what does an ideal youth to private partner look like in the ground? I want that picture. Like, if you are doing a business based on the innovation, how do you do your partnerships?
I don't know if it's okay if I can chime in. I am an investment and finance analyst.
Yeah.
I have worked on climate smart agriculture projects.
Yeah.
I have helped ventures model out a financial probability of how you're telling an investor, I want 3 million because I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
So the people that I got an opportunity to work with exposed me to see why white people are getting funds in our country and in Africa more than us, and even especially young people. It was essential for the investor to look at your project at a 10-year span. So you're telling them, give me 3 million, I have this innovation. This is my competitive advantage. This is why I want to go into this business model, because maybe China is doing it differently and I have found a way to counter it. You have to show them why are you choosing it? Why?
Yeah.
So if it's cabro and you're using plastic, compare it to the usual cabro. Usual cabro is cost 500 shillings to model one. But you with plastic, you're using 200 shillings. You've already shown them a statistic. You've reduced your cost of production by 300.
300.
Yes. And then how does it look like the next 10 years? You tell them, I'll use capital of this much, my recurrent expenditure will be this much, and I'll not make a profit the first year, but I'll start making profit the second year, the third year. So I think young people, just like she said, we're not taught how to model out this, but that's very important for an investor to see if they are to give you money. You might not get money the first year, but what if you modeled it out and told them, by year 5, I'll be making 300% profit? You know, they won't tell you you're being unrealistic. You'll tell them this is what you're thinking, because when you model it out on a paper, you usually don't see that there'll be COVID, so you'll still be given the money because you're ambitious. You don't know what will happen in year 3. You might not even make that profit, but you modeled it out. It's very important for an investor to have confidence in your innovation because of you showing them actual statistics and data. So
data matters a lot.
Yeah.
I think that would also bring me to a different point on what basis are you getting these finances? Is it equity? Is it a grant? Is it a debt? Is it
absolutely
a profit-based financing? And that also now brings, if it is a grant, most of the time you find that a lot of seed money is coming from grants because, well, it's money that someone is willing to lose, and it's money that you don't have to pay back. And it's a money that you can use as a learning process.
Yeah.
Investors people who need give money could
wanaweza
ni mark wakose kulipia funding, but anyway, if it is a debt, if I get a debt and my project doesn't work out, how am I going to sustain paying this debt? And I think it is also essential to understand that most of the time, sometimes maybe you are applying for something and the grant money is little, but the debt or the equity money is quite high, and you're like, okay, you've modeled your project really well, and you just say that, let me just take this. You are not knowing the kind of position you're putting yourself in long term, and what kind of nini. And also something else is the fact that I fund you, and whatever you're doing is to benefit me.
Yeah.
I think that is also something that we're seeing a lot.
That is tokenism or what?
Like, I fund you to plant avocados.
Yeah.
Or I plant you to recycle avocado seeds to, what is it called? Briquettes or biomass. And I want you to export 50 or 70% of this to your funding country. If you're being funded from Germany, you're exporting it to Germany. If you're being funded by a different country, you're exporting it there. Like, it is to benefit their population. And I think that also takes away from our autonomy as a country and autonomy as people. When we are dependent, we are codependent. Like, I don't know how to correctly place it, but when you do not have power over what your product is going to be doing, maybe you are creating it for your community and now it's just getting 20% and 80% of it is going elsewhere. Is it really serving the purpose it was supposed to fulfill?
So you mean like there are some pitfalls in doing partnerships with people and with companies So
The means justifies the end. At the end of the day, you get money on export.
But-
exchequer will be okay on
was
dollars.
that the point of starting?
Well-
Was that the point of starting?
And what-
You know, when you start off as when you start off as a community champion or a community developer, because I think most of us, our innovations are inspired by our lived experiences. You are struggling with lights, you're going to innovate. You're going to innovate towards lighting.
Yes.
You're struggling with waste, you're going to innovate towards waste management. And if your innovation, like umetengeneza light mzuri eti huko ushago kwenye umeshinda mkisumbwana mvua kidogo KPLC wameanua nini yao, umetengeneza a sustainable model of lighting your community, and now your community cannot use it, but you have money because it is being bought by someone else. That's the means, that does the end justify the means?
Now let's talk about that, the money now. Let's talk about that. You need the money.
Money.
Let's talk money. Let's have money language.
Investor.
Yeah, the investor is here,
You said
and we are
what?
talking money.
Investment analyst.
Yes.
Yes.
I asked somebody somewhere. I asked him, where are these projects? Like we are doing projects every time and I go through financing from the donors. Why do you think that? Because this money is about its short cycles. Do you think short cycle funding affects the way our innovations? Because if today you are given a certain fund which is lasting for 5 months, what next? Do you think that the short cycle is affecting us, Humphrey? The short cycle money, you are being funded, but the money is coming. They want you to implement something in 10 months, and the rest of it they don't want to, just 1 minute.
So according to me, vile naona, if they give you the funding for 10 months, maybe they want to see what you will do with the money within those 10 months, so that they see if the project is going on well, so that they can fund you for long term.
Yeah.
So I think basically sometimes it's just to see if you can be able to work out your idea. Ukishafanya hiyo idea, then donor akikuja kufanya kureassess hiyo project, then aone umeifanya vizuri, then atakuongezea funding.
It's about how you strategize yourself, and
Yes.
yeah.
But
So-
essentially, the money, even when you're starting a business, your capital is not usually your sustaining cash flow.
Yes.
Your profits are supposed to sustain your business. So I think
Can you
the
really
idea,
build a sustainable business in 5
the
months?
idea is for you to have an innovation that will sustain your business, not for the donor to keep on giving you money.
Yeah.
Okay, that is agreed.
You should have your
I'm also
plan,
just-
eh?
Okay, mi ideally, mimi nayo nitasema tu.
Yeah.
This short cycle grant or this short cycle financing, I wouldn't even call them partnerships, because how much change can you make in 5 months? I understand that, yes, ideally you're supposed to be self-sustaining, but maybe in, like, if someone is giving you funding for like 1, 2, 3 years, but 5 months, 5 months.
Now,
How is it? I think this is just about CSR and numbers. This is just about CSR and numbers. If you're supposed to fund a certain thing, let's say Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has its quota of money that is supposed to go to communities, and ndio maana mnapataka sometimes wanakuja sherehe wanawapea soda for free, Red Bull doing this. They have to do that at some point. It's not just a marketing nini, but also interacting with communities. But does it really make up for the waste that they're producing?
Yeah.
And
Now,
even the money that they give.
For me,
Maybe
I have been like a beneficiary for like a 6-month funded project. And I can attest it works, because it's actually show where are you okay, this with your budget, where are you actually taking this money? For us, we bought machineries, equipments, baling machines. After 6 months now, we are doing like massive baling service. Yeah. Sustainability, it is there and it's working, and we are earning profit from it.
Yeah.
So the aspect was also short funding. It can equally be, let me say this, that I can equally relate it to greenwashing. There's some companies which are really trying to show that they are
Doing something.
doing something meaningful,
but they are not doing.
in reality, it's just a whisker.
Now,
So-
let's wrap
Just
up
to
that.
get just to
Nini.
get clarity, was it a project that you were already working on before the 6-month funding came, or was it just a project that you started with this 6-month funding?
Let me tell you, we were really very new in this sector, and actually they help us model like a right strategy for us to be sustainable, from designing nice pitch decks, presenting our work, and having like nice strategy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So whatever
do
you
this
are,
work,
whatever you are talking about,
Mhm.
is just an introduction
Yeah.
to our next topic. The
Okay.
next topic we are going to talk about the business models now, like how do you ensure sustainability of your waste management business or your waste management venture. So I think we can wrap up that session at the moment. Then we expound more. You are going to be the first speaker in the next topic. Thank you.